DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Good evening and welcome to DJNTV tonight on Monday night. Tonight is the night you learn so much that you will want to go to bed tonight with that sugar plum thing going on in your head because you're going to be so smart. Stacie is with me tonight. Good evening, Stacie.
Hello.
Stacie Carroll is with, and Stacie, I've following some of your posts and such of your music organization. And of course, when I saw that, it's like, this is a great topic because there's a lot of DJs out there who, I'm going to back up 3 years ago before MJ got a hold of me and started bending my ear, that I just didn't spend a lot of time working on that part of it. Yes, I downloaded my songs, but that was about it. And there's so much more to be successful. Definitely. So that's why I wanted to have you come on here tonight and kind of share some of the things you were going through, because that's how you were talking about that. It's like, that's absolutely fabulous and great information. So let's jump into it and talk about music.
Yes, well, thank you so much for inviting me to come on. And so I always tell them I love the art form of putting songs together. And I've talked to several different DJs like, well, how do you know what to play? Or they, like, I go into an event and I don't know any song I'm going to play until I start playing it. But the way that I look at it, and I'll kind of show you in a little more detail here coming up, but really in any event, you have a general idea of demographics, the, age group, what kind of people are going to be there, especially if it's weddings and you have, your couple that you're trying to make happy. So focusing on their taste in music and it's easier to kind of build and what I call guessing of what you think that it's going to be for that night, and having lots of options so that you can, if something is going different from how you think it's going to be going, then you can change it and go in different directions, but still have it so that it's planned together. Because some songs, you can throw them together and it can be fine. It can be good. But, if I have songs that I know that I've put together and work amazing together, you just have that wow factor. Yep. And it's going to be so much better than anything that I can do just, throwing in. It's okay, but it can be so much better. But so I'll kind of show you some of the steps that I go through. I've got some different screenshots. So I use two different computers. And so I'm in the market for new studio software if anybody can give me some recommendations. But so what I've been using for probably 14 years is Mixmeister Studio.
Sure.
And so I love the way it works. You have total, complete control of every single aspect of the song. All of exactly where you're going to start and stop. You can, cut and paste throughout the whole song however you want to, put the BPMs every single second of how you want to add it, do all your volumes, your arcs, curves, however you want to. I mean, it's amazing to have control over all your songs. But it's not compatible with new Mac, so I have to use my older Mac to use it. That's why I was like, I need some new software, but nothing works as well as this. So I think I heard something like Serato bought them out. I don't know, but so I need some new, more modern studio software. But anyway, so I'll kind of talk you through how whenever I'm. So for example, this past Saturday, Mary and Joseph, funny couple name, but yep. They were my couple, and easy to remember. And so whenever they give me maybe some song, and some couples have huge amounts of songs they want played. Others might have just a couple. So for this couple, they only had a few songs that they said we like everything. So kind of guessing from previous events that I've done, I think they might seem like this group of people.
Sure.
So every event, I have it saved. And then I kind of take pieces from that. So you'll see on the screen here.
Yep.
So starting like at the top of the set would be the You Give Love intro to God's Plan, and it ends at Mr. Brightside. So that has your, let me scoot this over. I can't see what it, oops. My video's in the way. I can't see what's underneath
move us off to the side.
I don't, it's not going to move. But anyway, so Mr. Brightside is my cold in. So with sets, I have a song that I know has a great start to it, and then a song that I know has a good final feel to it. And so then with that, kind of like if I feel like this couple is going to fit these songs, then I can keep it exactly as it was from maybe a previous event, or I can take bits and pieces of it. So maybe I say, hey, I think that, you know, the God's Plan will be good, but Humble might be a little bit too, you know, club feel for them. They're not going to want it. So I might take that out and then look for something else to put in that place. And so I always just start out with the tentative sets of what I think it will be. So, and you can put in requests that they've given you, or just picking other songs that you think would fit. And so once I get that kind of tentative order, then is where I start, you know, listening to and figuring out exactly what I want. So say if I want new songs that don't fit with a past couple, then, you know, it's easy to search here. So sometimes I'll just do searches of VPMs, like, hey, I need to find something in that 128, 130 range. And so I'll just do searches there, or, you know, it's like, I want to find some new songs. So I search by, you know, the date added for the most recent stuff, or like, hey, I think that this might be something, or like, I want something from the 2000s. So I'll just put like pop 2000s or hip hop 2000s. And you have to keep up with, make sure you're labeling all your music well. But so I slack on that sometimes, or if I want to just search quick edit. So I do different searches kind of on different, what aspect I'm looking for to put into it. And then once I get kind of what I think is going to work well, then that's whenever I start playing and listening. And that's why I love studio software, because it saves you so much time than doing your live mixing with Serato whenever you're just trying to figure out what goes together. So for this, I can put it exactly, you know, stack it up so you can see where the little orange lines are. That's, you know, where the one song is starting or ending and where the next song is starting. So you have them lined up. And so you can move it exactly where you want to. So I hear, you know, okay, here's the one. I'm starting my next song right here. So my example on the screen right here is, so for me, I wanted to have the acapella of Pony, because I love doing the acapella of Pony into the intro of Feel It Still. Like it sounds really cool together. I like doing that. But you know, the version that I had here, this quick version with the acapella, it was like this. There's not enough. So I was like, I'm going to take this longer version that I have and then add the acapella outro to the end. So I'm easy to get these two songs, stack them together exactly how I want to. And well, so if I have other songs that I haven't normally played, I can put them here exactly. Okay, there's this much of an outro. It needs to go right here. Because sometimes, you know, they should be, you know, 8, 16, 32, but not always. And seems like they'll always request some song and it's like, has like a 4 extra count. Like, well, I don't know why a song will have those 4 extra counts. Drives me crazy. But like, it needs to be just like even, always on the 8. But,
yeah, no, it's not always that way.
Yeah. But, so that way I know, like, okay, I need to start it here I need to start, you know, on 5 instead of on 8 for it to end at that spot that sounds the best. And also you can change the key. So I'm like, this sounds okay, but I'm thinking it might be better if I raise this key, it's going to blend better. And so a lot of times, like with key signatures, I don't necessarily, because even though if it says it's the same key, it might actually sound better, like something different. So you can play around, you can raise it, lower it. Sometimes if I get it to be in the same key, but then it just sounds weird because it's too high, or I can change it however I need to ahead of time. So I can get it how I feel pretty happy about. So then I do that. So say if I'm planning on like 3 hours of dancing, I might have 3.5 hours worth of sets. And so that kind of gives me space that I can flow as I need to. And then, of course, you know, you can change things up. I had a wedding 2 weekends ago. I thought it was going to be one way. And then I was like, oh my gosh, these people are just like this other couple that I did. I'm going to switch over to their playlist that I have. So having those sets, even if it's something that you may not use in that time, you can still use it later. So And usually within the past year, I do well at remembering what each event was and what the style of music was like and what would fit for that. And so then once I get a set that I'm happy, or I think that I'm happy with, then I create it and put it onto a whole track. So I save it onto an MP3 file, and then I save it to Dropbox. And so it goes to everything. I think that's so excuse me. And then I just save it to Dropbox so I can have it automatically on all my computers, automatically on the phone, automatically on the iPad. It's just, I don't have to move anything. It's there. So that way, whenever I'm driving in the car, I can listen to it. Whenever, taking the kids to practice, I'm always listening to mixes. That's what we were driving, or we were walking the parking lot, and a car had their windows rolled down and music was playing. And my 3-year-old little girl, she said, "Oh, are they listening to music for a wedding too?" Everybody, you listen to music, it's for a wedding, you're listening to a mix. And then we listen to something, she's like, "They didn't say DJ Stacie on it." And I was like, "No." So listen, and then that next spot is where I'm very critically listening to it and taking notes. So I don't want I don't want it to just be in beat and go to the next song. Mm-hmm. I want it to sound fluid and make sure that the energy is flowing. So as you listen to it, it just goes into the next song and it sounds complete. And, and not just with the phrasing, but again, with your I'm trying to think of the right word, being in key, but sometimes you might want an instrumental intro with it to blend with it, but sometimes, that's going to clash. So you want just a flat intro, just a beat going. And sometimes you might want to start with a hook. And so this, I had already deleted my notes from last Saturday's wedding, but this is a mix that I'm working on coming up. So these are just the notes that I had. So listening to it, I was like, man, it needs, I don't like where my drop was. So I want to move a little bit more. The next song that came in, I felt like that the volume was down too low from the first song. So let's bring that volume up. And then I didn't like the next song. I was like, see if we can take that out, because I knew I wanted to, and I have a wordplay that I do with firework into boom, where it goes boom, boom, boom. And then you have the instrumental of boom coming into it. So I was like, I wanted to have that in there, but I was like, I don't want too much of firework because then it sounded corny. And so just different notes playing around and wanting just the flow of it. 'Cause sometimes if as I'm listening to it, I'm like, what does this need? Is there a point in the song where it starts losing me? I'm like, okay, let's go on to the next one. Or sometimes you're listening to, and this is why I like doing multiple edits. I have a bunch of different record pulls. If there's not one, it's that I want to be oh, I'm just going to play the song as it is. I always want to make it where I feel like it fits better based on whatever song's going into. Mm-hmm. So I always have all those notes, and usually I might have 3, 4, 5 different, versions. And it's okay, this is as good as I think that I can get it. And so, and then I talked about this a little bit already, but what am I listening to? And also, especially with requests, is listening to the lyrics of it. And especially at weddings, for some reason there'll be so many times they'll have these songs that's songs about people breaking up. I had one it was supposed to be Last Dance, and the whole song was about getting a divorce. And I asked her, I was like, "Do you know what the song's about?" Exactly. She was like, "Oh, I guess I never really thought about it. It was talking about kids crying." And it's this is not a song for a wedding. So it's always listening through everything and just how does it feel, and again, does everything sound right with it? And then also whenever I always want to have what I talked about earlier, having that good hard hit of the cold in and then a cold out that sounds final. So that's whenever you can switch then to your next BPM, or that's when you can do your slow dance, or that's if you want to throw in your ballad. I think I had Don't Stop Believing on there, or something that's when you can throw in some of those that I'm not mixing, but just kind of to change the energy. I always wanted to have that good flow of energy. And you don't really know until you're in that moment what's going to be next. You might just switch BPMs or if you want to go to the lower. And also I think I skipped something on here, but just the main thing is also just how it and I said that already, but just there's so much more than just being in beat. you want it just to make it sound fluid and have that nice flow. So, and then once I get where I'm happy with it, then I start making new tracks where I need to. Sometimes, you know, the tracks are already there. That's why I comment on some Facebook group that I, you know, make a lot of my own edits. And so it's like, oh my gosh, for every event. It's like, well, no, I don't make new edits for every single song. We just, over the years, then I've made edits and it's maybe edits from other edits other people have done or I've gotten them just to have combined it from different
sources,
versions.
Yeah.
So then I save it to a new file. So here is my pony. This is a short edit. I label all my stuff either short or quick. So quick is, you know, very quick, and short is a little bit longer. So this is a little bit longer version, and then you have the acapella outro. So that's how I label it, so I know what it is.
Nice.
And then once I have all those new tracks, so hopefully, you know, there's not too many, but so it's not as time consuming as you would think. But and then I make my crate for each event. So some I might be able to pull over some sets that I've worked that I think will be the same or parts of the sets, and then adding in the new edits that I've made. And then also then where this arrow's pointing, I have options. So say if the set's going, so if I want to do the starting at TikTok to Just Dance one more time and to It's Tricky, I can do that. So I have the intro edit. Mm-hmm. Or say if I think, I don't want to do the TikTok part, like I don't think that's going to work. I just want to start with It's Tricky and then go to Low Money and move on down. So that way I have a cold in there, or I can do the cold in at the TikTok. So having options, and also, and I'll show a little bit zoomed in here, but I have notes written where I can skip. So like say if I'm thinking these are some iffy songs, I don't know, like I know that this will work going into another song somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So having lots of options to be able to read the room, because I mean, it's true. Like whenever I get there, I do not know what I'm going to be playing, when I'm going to be playing it, but I have the plan. So, right. and with the songs, like knowing that they go together, if they like this song and it's working, then they're going to like these other songs. It's not like it's going to be something completely crazy. So you can plan ahead. It's not totally new. And if for some reason, you know, you think none of this is going to work, then you can always change it. It's not like I have to just start at the top and go to the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Stacie, let's jump back to that screen, please.
And then also,
Stacie, sure. Jump back to the screen. Let's talk to that. I see over on the notes side, I would assume that's kind of the notes to the right there. You got One More Time is highlighted by Daft Punk, and then you've got Blue to It's Tricky. Explain what that means.
Yes. That's my next slide.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's go to the next slide.
Yeah. So what I do color-coded cue points, and this is the main thing where people ask, like, how do you DJ without headphones? So this is how I DJ without headphones. So and I do use headphones for songs that I haven't done this for. So like this last Saturday, they were throwing in all kinds of, they were throwing in requests that I never even heard of. I was surprised that I had them. I was like, he's like, surely you have it. I was like, oh, I do. That normally doesn't happen. Even if it's like things I haven't heard, then I don't have them. But so it was like stuff that I didn't even know about. And then like random things that I've heard, but I've never played. But so I had to use my headphones a lot this last Saturday. But anyway, I got off subject. But so I always do the orange.
Oh, I think we froze for a second.
To start. So that's where it is unstable.
Yep, hang on. We'll pick it up at orange and just give it a second here. Let's try it again.
Okay.
No, okay. We're still unstable.
Okay.
You guys just hang with us here. Sometimes when you're doing live shows and you are going via the internet, it's not a perfect science. So, Stacie, I see eyes blinking again, so I'm hoping that we're back.
Okay. Yes. So my key points that are colors that I use.
Oh, we lost.
For mixing in. Yellow is where I set the cue to start if I'm going to do a cold in. So like for this one, the yellow is going to be one more time, and that's where it starts. So you don't have to, it's not going to be on a 1. It's probably going to be on the tag leading into a 1.
Sure.
And then blue and red are what I use for outros. So sometimes you want to have the outro going through the ending chorus. Sometimes you want the outro at the actual outro. And then also then I can, if I need other parts, like for those songs that have the random extra 4 counts, then I can do the other colors, green, sometimes like the purple, if it's something that's really weird where it's like it doesn't make sense for it to sync up together, then I'm like, I'll put purple, and then purple others like, okay, no, I've got to at least get together at this spot. So like I can use those for those. But main thing is the red and blue. I know the ends, and then that's what I have in my notes, which then I have here. So like for here, the song, if I'm like going to green, it says if I'm going to all the small things at Panini, then I know do the outro or do the intro of the next song, or use the green. And then I wish I could move this thing over. I can't see what I've written on here. But yeah, so one of my mixes I like doing is Hey Ya to Shake It by Metro Station to Shake It Off. And I do like a shake. So it's like a quick little wordplay thing. So, but sometimes I think, well, maybe Metro Station's not going to work for this group. I want to just go to Shake It Off. So that's why I know at the red of Hey Ya, I can go to either Shake It or Shake It Off. And then, or say if I think these people are not going to want Taylor Swift, I can do then the red from Shake It Metro Station, I can go to Bad Girls, or I can do blue to Hand Clap. And that's just what I had the past. So again, every event I'm kind of like, I can specify exactly what I want to do. So it's not like I just have to play those songs. So this was from the wedding, and I had a go on.
So you've done these a few times. The first time you put a set together like this, and you've got your notes made, and you do it, and let's say Shake It Off wasn't a great song, and that, and you try it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this was just not going to work. Is it something that you try a couple of times to see with an audience, or is it one of those things that that you've had experiences where it sounded good on paper, but in the real world it just didn't fly like you were expecting?
Yeah, well, that's what, and I've seen that, like I Love Wow by Post Malone, but I feel like the past 2 times I've played it, I'm like, people are kind of standing, but it's not really like, because there's one like where you go like Fall Out Boy, and then it can do like a cool little wordplay into a Fall Out Boy song, but the Wow song, people are just kind of standing around, so I'm kind of like, I'm probably not going to do that. So that's one that I would be like, nice to listen to, but probably I'm not going to do a lot of dancing to that. But the Shake It Off, generally if it's people that like, your pop stuff, and then if you're in that, late 20s,
those are strong.
They love the Metro Station stuff, that goes really well.
Yeah, good tunes there for sure.
Yeah, and then again, but like what you're saying, like if it's of a group, then I think, because Taylor Swift is one of those iffy artists. So some like, I know they're not going to want any Taylor Swift, and others like, oh, they would enjoy it, and they're like, these girls are going to go crazy. So yeah, it's totally. You've got to really think. It's, again, like it's not just I'm going to play these in this order every time for everybody. It is specified and catered to the group. And then also what I do a lot once I have it all put together, then I do have a Mixcloud account. I love posting lots of different mixes on Mixcloud. I don't really post a lot of wedding stuff just because I don't think that's stuff that you're. It's not. It's more weddings. It's not really to listen to. Like it's shorter groups. So, but I love doing just totally random stuff and different stuff, new stuff, and then throwbacks, and just, so that's kind of how the process works. And so with like what I post on Mixcloud, the process is the same that I would do live. It's just you can move it around more, and I'm not like on Mixcloud, I'm like, okay, this has to be as perfect as I can get it before I post it. But in live, it's a little, you can have a little less perfection to it.
So before you put a mix on Mixcloud, how much time do you have into curating that set of songs and putting them together, getting it down to where it's kind of a lot?
So like at one of the local clubs here, the past, I want to say, I guess maybe past year, we've done different DJ takeovers, and you play a 20-minute set. And I like to have a whole week to come up with that 20-minute set. Like, and not that I'm working on it 40 hours, but that I can, okay, I have time, I can because I'm starting from scratch. So I'm not bringing in something that I've already done, like that I can move from other events. So it's like, I have to put it all together and listen. But again, having studio software, it saves so much time, because if I had to like actually play the full 20 minutes, that would take forever every time. So now I can, okay, I need to edit these 4 little spots, and it takes, 5 minutes, and then I just, record it. And whereas, 5 minutes, I have my new edit I can listen to, as opposed to having to spend, 20 minutes playing from start to finish. And then if you mess up, then it's like, oh gosh. So that way I can like totally hear how it's supposed to sound. But there is a lot that goes into it, but hopefully it pays off.
So with one of the DJ takeovers, you've got a 20-minute set. You want to create something different than, in essence, the last time you were there. Do you start with a handful of songs, or how do you get started picking what the songs for that set that you're going to play?
So I've got 2 DJ takeover, or sort of. So the DJ takeover live that's on the screen here, this was really the songs that I liked. And then I love doing wordplay stuff. So some things that I thought was just fun to put in there. And I had another Shake It Off that I had Laffy Taffy. Like, I've always loved that song, but I don't ever play it anywhere. But like, now's the time I can do it. Like, it's like shake it and then shake it that into the metro station. So I like that better than the Hey On one. But so I can do some where like I know, oh, hey, here's a shake part, and then I can do a different song. But yeah, just doing different songs that I enjoy, and also all of the search feature I was showing. Like, if I want something that's about, well, like my issue that I'm working on right now, fireworks. I'm like, is there something about fire? So I'll type in fire, and I'll search up what's something that's coming up here, or something I don't know, like just anything, any words that I'm trying to find. I might search, or I'll even like Google lyrics and just like, oh yeah, that's a song, and then put it together that way. And then on the bottom here, the casino party that I played at Arm DJs. Yep. So for this, I was like, we've got a lot of, middle-aged men that I see on all the DJ forums that hate every single song evidently. Yep. So I'm like, what are they going to like? What am I going to like? Because whenever I'm DJ for stuff like this, and I'm not like trying to please a specific person, I'm like, I want to play music that I like. And I play just like, and I put in rock, and I had like Buck Cherry Crazy B on there, which I wouldn't play anywhere. But I was exactly. And I was playing it, and like I asked someone on the DJ, he goes, yeah. I was like, yeah, that'll work. Because I knew like there would be guys that would appreciate me playing that song.
None of us could play that at a wedding. And it's different.
Yeah. And so like those, it's just kind of totally open format for the takeover stuff. And then sometimes if it's in a club, then I'm going to be probably more on the heavier hip hop side, but I love putting in rock. I had one I did, I wanted to throw in some Dolly Parton. So I did Jolene into, I like The Boy Is Mine or something. So it was like, it was fun, but just like doing those random things, but.
Nice.
So
let's see. Yeah, folks are talking on the Facebook, a couple of Facebooks were talking about how you're working in requests and such, and you've talked a little bit about that, but
yes. So my favorite thing is whenever people request songs that are in the BP if you're playing, and then you can like put it together and it sounds amazing. Like you've been like, oh yeah. So again, when you have lots of cue points set, I like blue or red, I can listen to the next song and I can say, okay, it's going to be, has a good, steady intro. Like it'll be fine for this 8 count outro. So we'll do the red outro, or like I can guess kind of in that moment where it needs to be. Or if it's even like this last Saturday when it was just like requests going like crazy, I can just do it, on beat, and it's fine. So sometimes, I settle, for the right song and being fine, as opposed to an amazing mix and it's not the perfect song choice.
So in a situation
so,
when you do have a lot of requests coming in, do you get to a point where basically some of the sets that you were thinking about doing, and I say this because my son, he's a huge set builder also, like what you've been discussing, he gets to a point at a school dance, as an example, and he's like, okay, I've got all these requests, and there's no way I can get my last set that I was looking to do in because I want to get as many of these. Do you run into that, or how do you work with that?
If it's something I think it's going to be better, and so then I may do the request. But a lot of time where I've put so much thought into it ahead of time, I might have to change a few things. But for the most part, and again, since I have like more to choose from than what it's actually going to have time for, then I'm able to pick those things that are going to be that will fit. So very, very seldom am I, completely different. Like, and again, that one, but I was able, like, oh, this is like such and such's wedding, and then I was like, it was just like 80s music, like a whole bunch of 80s songs, which I don't really play a lot. Sure. Normally, these couples, they want kind of newer music, so I was like, oh, that's like theirs. So I hadn't planned on that, but it all worked fine. So, but yeah, but mixing it in, especially somewhere it's just like you have if it's not a wordplay and not some crazy acapella, something where you need that music or something to go with it to sound in the right key, then just your regular beated intro outro, you can something that's any request in that BPM, then you can just fit it in and go. But so I love being able to throw it in when I need to. So yeah, every song doesn't have to go into the next song that's planned. It's nice to have a plan.
Certainly, yeah. Two questions. First off, let's hit the one. Somebody was asking about where you get your music from. We saw Promo Only was one of your sources. Yes. Where are you finding other versions?
So and I know you're not supposed to, but I love just having a bunch of different record pools. So yes, definitely Promo Only. Get your your great legal stuff. It's not my style of edits, so I don't really. The only one that I use, probably there's only a few that I use in their entirety. I have to edit them extra myself to fit how I like it to. But I've got a lot from, I'm trying to think, Crate Gang, Bar Bangers. Right now I just subscribe to Direct Music Service is what I do. I've got a lot from Club Killers. I know I did Prom Cuts before they quit. I've done Ultimix. I know there's probably more. I just love getting lots of different varieties. And
do you go looking for a specific version? Say there's a new hot song that came out from Bruno Mars. Do you go, you listen to the album version and you're like, okay, in my mind, I want to find one that has this feature, and do you go looking for that? Or is it something that, okay, this is a great song from Bruno Mars, let's see what's out there and then pick the best one? What's your method?
So actually there's, I've forgotten his name. There are two DJs that do re-drums of new songs. It just kind of gives it a little bit poppier.
Right.
And I cannot think of their name. They're on DMS, but so a lot of the new music I feel is just low energy. So all this stuff, I like keeping a song's integrity. Unless it's for something super high energy, like on here, like at the top, that's the Foam Party. That's all going to be, your high energy remix stuff. But for most events, I like having the energy, but the song, the way people know it, so that you can sing along with it. And I like having the song shorter than the full version,
right,
but long enough. And so that's why a lot of quick edits, it'll be just like a verse, chorus, and then an ending. It's like, that's not enough for the song. And that's why I like starting with a chorus and then having a verse and then a chorus, and then maybe you need something else. Like it kind of depends on the song. And then you might have the acapella chorus going.
Yeah, I like that idea of mixing an acapella with the actual, in essence, edit was kind of an interesting concept there. I hadn't thought about that, doing something like that. That was neat. Very neat.
I think Mike D maybe is the deal. It's going to drive me crazy. I have to, like, think
exactly. And as soon as we're off, it'll be like, oh yeah, that's who they are. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, if I was the one that was making the edits, I would want somebody to like give me credit. Like, but some that just has like a more of an energetic backing to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. That's something we've talked about on a few of that. Those reed drums are a lot of fun with some songs. Somebody made a comment that basically that a person lives and dies by their cue points, and your system of cue points, you're consistent with that across all of your music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was what's because there was one record pool. It comes with preset cue points, and so it's like, these are all the wrong colors. Like, it's not the way that I use it. So then I have to like change everything. Like, why'd you have this already?
Delete.
Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be my system, but like pick a system, and it helps so much, especially. And I was talking to one DJ where she was saying that, you know, she doesn't know exactly what she's going to be playing going into a club, which in a club that is a lot more varied than say a wedding or, you know, a birthday or somebody. I do more of private events than just your bar stuff. I do some of that, but I like being able to go to sleep, and I don't like staying up that late. But, but yeah, so like she was saying, she sets cue points ahead of time. It's like, yeah, so that makes it easier, even if, you know, you are picking just songs in the moment, you know where you need to be. Especially if people are talking to you, that keeps me on track. I'm like, okay, I've got to make sure that I'm paying attention here. So it helps, even if you're, you know, not having any method to it, just knowing where you need to start paying attention again. It's like, okay, stop talking to me. I see the blue coming up.
Yeah, just wait 1 second. I'll be right with you.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Stacie, our time is starting to run out here. If people would like to get in touch with you to, you know, with further questions on how you're using the software and such, is there a way for them to reach out to you? Sure.
Yeah. I mean, Facebook or email. That's really, Facebook is really probably the easiest. So just my name there, is my personal Facebook, or you can do the business is Stacie Randy DJ. So either one.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys can just go out and search Stacie Hawk Carroll on Facebook, or you can go out to Mixcloud and listen to some of the mixes that she's got out there. There you are.
That's my goal. I want to increase my listens on Mixcloud.
Yeah, for some DJ situations that works really quite well, and then there's some of us who are just strictly wedding DJs, and it's like, how many times do I play the YMCA that I have to? Doesn't work. Stacie, thank you much for coming on and sharing some of your thoughts and stuff.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Gang, we'll be back in about 20 minutes. Dan and I will be doing our last show of the night here, and we'll be sharing that link in just a little bit, or you can go out to DJNTV.com/live at the top of the hour, and we'll see you then. Once again, Stacie, thanks for being with.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Bye.